Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another show at Rick's Tech Pub on August 7th at straight up 2 o'clock. Oh, I wish my morning was a little bit more relaxed than what it was, but it wasn't. I ended up being the chore boy for a few people today, so my morning was spent running around for other people's chores that they decided they didn't want to do, or just I don't know. But I went to three different places, and then last one I had to go and run out to Northeast. And I did the cleaning of the computers. Did a little bit of cleaning on mine. I'm not done with this one yet. I got the one in the bedroom to do, but got a few others done. Brought my shop vac with me, my CompuVac, that white vacuum cleaner thingy that blows air out. The CompuVac for blowing out computers. It's a two-speed thingy. Works pretty good. I just take their computer, disconnect it, and take it out to the backside of the building and just blow all the dust out of it. So I'm not doing it inside. I've got about 7 or 8 more to do. In a different office. Good afternoon, Ken. Like I said, it's going to be a short stream today. It's going to be about a half hour. It's going to get hot in here because it's 85 degrees out, and I shut the AC off just so that you guys could hear me and not the air conditioner. So I didn't want to have to raise my voice over the air conditioner, so I figured, well, then I'll shut the damn thing off. Except I shut it off too soon. Shut it off while the phone rang, and when I was in here, I just shut the air conditioner off. That was about 35 minutes ago, and I wish I'd let it run for maybe a couple more minutes, but the phone rang, and then I had a knock at the door. Too much going on. That's usually how it goes when I get home. After I'm gone for about 2 or 3 hours from 7 to about 10:30, quarter to 11. Then I get back here and everybody's looking for me. So that's how hey, Robert. Hey, Heather. That's how my morning has been. Then I went out and had my lunch, or went out and got lunch. Came back here to eat it. It's a little breezy today. It's sunny. I mean, we got better skies than we had yesterday. But it's just a little bit breezy. It's not bad, but there's a few places where I was hitting a light headwind, and like I couldn't afford to let the wind slow me down because I had people waiting on me. Because they said, "Well, we'll see you when you get here." And I had about 3 miles to go, and I said, "You do realize it's gonna take me a while," so I just don't say anything. I just go. It's like, they ain't gonna wait for me. So, so that's how my morning is. Oh, excuse me. Got up too early this morning again. I was up by little after 6 this morning, and I didn't want to be up that early, but I knew I was awake, and I said, "Well, it's 6." I looked at my phone, which is not too far away from me. I just looked at the edge of it, and I said, "It said 6:05." It's like, oh, 6:05. So I laid in bed for another 20 minutes, and I got up about 6:24. Okay, I can't lay around anymore. I gotta get going. Got places to be, people to see. As early as 7 o'clock in the morning, I had to go downtown to go see someone. Go pick up a piece of paper for that had their name on it, my name on it, and saying that I was doing the delivery. I had to have that piece of paper with me, and I guess the guy that I was delivering to ordered or asked for it, said, "Oh, I want his name on it. Whoever the delivery guy and whatever he's doing, just have his name on it." So we had to go and do that, and not too many people. Most of them just take it by a text and a phone call, and But I gotta fill out those other two pieces of paper for the other two places I went. Sounded like motocross motorcycles. Oh, you just had Burger King. Yeah, I didn't have something. I didn't have Burger King, but I didn't have Holiday today either. I didn't go to Holidays. Me and a bunch of friends went downtown to the one of the restaurants downtown and Mexican places. It's all right. It's a little bit expensive, but it's not too bad. I mean, we could have gone to the Passport, and then they would have gotten mad at me for suggesting the Passport. That place is expensive, and since they've got new ownership, since it was I can't remember what it was before, but now it's the Passport. And it used before that. It was even before it was even that. It was a bar. It was a Blue Ox Bar, famous place in Brainerd. Well, it used to be downtown Brainerd, the Blue Ox Bar. Well, it's not a bar anymore. A restaurant. They still have part of the bar in there, but mostly it's a restaurant. It's called the Sage, and now it's called the Passport. So on from the Blue Ox Bar, the Sage, now it's the Passport. We ate at the other Mexican place on 7th. Eh, not bad. Like I said, a little expensive, but not too bad. If you can find the Bremer Bank downtown, you can find the Mexican restaurant that we're at, because you just look right across the street. And that's where we were at. People want to know where I want, or if I wanted to go to eat out to lunch with them. And I said, sure, where are we going? We're going to that Mexican place downtown. Like, oh, that place on 7th? Yeah. Oh, good. I've been wanting to go there. So we went there and like, almost too much. Almost too much. I was almost asking for a thing to take it home with, but we just sat around for another 10, 15 minutes, and I don't know where I got that excess space from, but I found the next little spot, and I ate the last bit of it, and I kind of wobbled out of there. It was good, but oh, ow. My colitis and my hernia are gonna thank me for that one later on. It wasn't really spicy, but I could taste a few things in it that were gonna probably flare up my colitis later on. Hopefully not bad, but I was thinking, yeah, there's a couple of things I shouldn't have eaten. I'm gonna start watching my blood pressure because on the 11th I go in for my pre-op. So I'm gonna start watching what I'm eating, making sure that when they go take my blood pressure, that my blood pressure is lower than what it has been. It's been kind of up there lately. Although I think the last one they took was 120 something. Over I couldn't remember the last other numbers, but I think it's down within the normal range again. So I'm not too worried if it's elevated a little bit. Not to mention I've got the hernia bothering me, and I've always got my back is kind of bothering, so that elevates the blood pressure a little bit. So it won't be down as low as they want it, but it'll be lower than what it's been. It'll be in the safe range. And I guess my dad's coming down the day of my surgery. He's gonna probably be just standing, hovering over me when I wake up out of surgery. Scared the living hell out of me. He said, "Dad, what the hell are you doing here?" Well, don't you remember I said I was gonna be here when you'd wake up? Like, yeah, not literally standing over me, but yeah, I do remember us talking about you being here. So that's the latest I know is that my dad's gonna drive all the way down here just to be down here for a half a day. He'll be here in the morning, and I guess he'll leave the next. Stay here that day in the hospital with me, and then the next morning, I guess he'll. I don't know. I guess he'll head back to wherever. because I won't be able to travel for a while after my hernia surgery, at least for at least 2 weeks. No traveling, no big bumps or anything, so I won't be riding my bike either. But that's gonna suck. But I think for now I've got everything canceled. I think I got maybe a few things to do tomorrow. Then after that, there's nothing more until after my surgery. So I've got a good short of a month by about 3 days because I've today, yesterday, and the day before I was out doing things, but I don't think I'll be doing much tomorrow. I think I've got everything. I think I got everything stopped, and I think I have everything transferred to other people to take care of the phone calls and the messages and whatever else goes on. I think they can they can take care of that part of it for the next 3 weeks, and then I'll check back in with them. I'll kind of let them know when I'm going to be able to come back and what I'm going to be able to do. But right now, it's all them doing it. I won't be able to do much, and I can pretty much tell because the front side isn't really letting me do much bending and whatever, because then that starts to become a problem. Then my back's, I can't do any twisting or anything like I was doing earlier today. I was just kind of cleaning things and out of the office this morning, bending over a bunch of times to get the dust out of the computers. Like, I can't keep doing this. But I got mostly that all done, and I got the third one done, which I kind of had to take my time on because my back was starting to slow me down. So I was just kind of just going slowly at it. And I eventually got it done, and I decided after that I think I better go get something to eat and then go home. So I had my breakfast and then went out for lunch. And I've been kind of home ever since then. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. Is kind of shifting things around. 'Cause I get a few more phone calls for a couple other things that I do that. Um, as far as the courier part of it, I think. Yeah, I think that actually I got one more phone call to make on that for his deliveries, pickup and drop offs. I got two more calls to make on that, and tell them probably after tomorrow, after today, that I'm not doing anymore. I'm gonna start taking it easy until I have my. Till after the 20th is my surgery. 25th, the 30th. Probably the second or the third. I'll probably be able to possibly get back to somewhat normal, but at a lighter level. I don't think I'll be able to. I don't know. Depends on what my hernia can put up with and how much I can pull on the trailer. So I think I'll take my first one like on the third. Put myself back on the list for deliveries and pickups on the third. Depending on how much they put in the trailer, 40 pounds or 80 pounds or 110. 100 is usually about the 105 is usually my max. So usually if they go 5 pounds, usually 105. I don't like going 110, so it'll do 110. It's just that's a little heavy. So usually 105 is usually my max, but still, I don't think I should be doing that with just coming a couple of weeks out of a hernia surgery, pulling 105 pounds. So I don't know when I'll get back to that. Probably wait till the 8th or the 9th and see if I can try it then. But that's how it's gonna go for a while. It's just gonna be doing absolutely nothing for the first 2 weeks, besides just sitting in this chair and the desk chair in the bedroom, just kind of walking back and forth between the two computers. And maybe I'll be good enough at night to do a Zoom meeting with the Zoom homies or whatever, and sit there in agony for 20 minutes, or depends on how I feel. Um, I know they want me laying down a lot. He told me that. He said, "Yeah, after you have the surgery for a while, Rick, you're going to be laying down for quite a bit because you need to have things stretched out, not everything bunched up when you're sitting." So he's going to have me sitting different, but mostly it's going to be in there laying in bed for about the first. I don't know. It's up to him. I hope he doesn't have me in bed red for 2 weeks because that's going to suck. But I think it's for the first week and then just kind of light walking around after that and for the next week after that. So it's going to be a slow process. But I've been through this before, so I just got to be careful. No, I'm not. No, I'm not trying to lose weight. You should see how much I'm eating. If anything, I've gained. I've gained like a quarter pound or a half pound. It's not. It's not that I'm not eating. I'm eating quite a bit, especially at night when I'm sitting around. I'll have a bag of chips here, and I'll have my spice drops. I have my jelly beans, and I'll just be munching on all those at night. Just sitting there, just chowing down. You know, not giving a crap about the calories. After I eat about 600 or 700 calories or whatever, and I think I might want to stop for a while and let my stomach rest. But yeah, I'm not one for not just. Um, I'm in average. I'm 150 or one between 148 and 151. I think they said this last time I was 150.2. So yeah, I'm doing all right. The doctor said I was fine last time I was weighed. And she looked at it. She said, "Yeah, you're doing fine on weight. You're 150.2." So hello, Intermute. How are you? Yeah, that's not too bad. It's kind of right where I want to keep it. It's about 150, 151, maybe 152, but I just bounce off of that and drop back down. So I don't. I'm not too bad. And when I'm on that bike constantly all the time, calories don't stay with me very long. 'Cause in the first couple of times going up and down Washington Street, burn those calories off. Breakfast usually doesn't stick around long because that's usually the mornings are sometimes my busiest, and I'll be going from Holiday out to the far end and to Baxter and the intersection out there. That's the beginning of Washington Street. You go all the way out to Lum Park, and there's a few buildings off in that direction. I do deliveries too. I drop things off for them, and usually it's from business to business. A business will call someone and want something picked up, me to drop it off in another business, and that's all I'm doing. It's not that I'm doing it for residents so much, although there's a few in there once in a while, but mostly it's 3 or 4 businesses that I'm dealing with. They they need something delivered or something picked up and dropped off or whatever. And that's all I do. I'm doing okay, Wintermute. Just keep having to answer doctors' calls, and I gotta call the clinic. That's the other call I gotta make. Damn it! I just remembered I gotta call the clinic back. They want me to okay something, and she asked me a question, and I said, "Yeah, after my live stream this afternoon, we should get done around 2:30, 2:35. Um, Yeah, I gotta call her. So I'm just sitting down here starting to write a list of things I need to get done before, you know, things I want to get done around here and kind of want pretty much everything done before the 20th. I gotta call the clinic. Then I gotta probably put another note in my chart. Um, I think that's all I had to do for the clinic stuff. No, then I gotta take care of it. I gotta get there. I gotta do the other clinic down in the city is Fairview. I gotta get a hold of them too. So, oh, that's very essential. This is for gonna be for Fairview. Call. Oh. Because I know one of them. I gotta confirm a date for. I don't know why they've been doing this lately, but being that my mom's the driver, she's the one that drives me down there. I guess they want me to call them and confirm one of my appointment dates or confirm that I'm gonna be there. I don't know why they want that. It's like, well, if a date's already been made, then why do you want me to call you to confirm that I'm gonna be at my appointment? It doesn't make any. I don't know why they want me to call them. And then now I'm confused. So for my appointment, I'm supposed to call them. So I know my one appointment's been changed for the back injection. That won't be happening here in about a week. That was on the 24th. I'm going to be having surgery on the 20th. So yeah, everything's gotten turned around. Now I got to call them and try to take the wrinkles out of everything. Because they're calling, they called the other day for something, and I was on my bike, and I said, I can't exactly talk to you right now. I'm at an intersection trying to cross the road. He says, oh my God, okay, I'll talk to you later. I said, yeah, and who is this by the click? Like, so now I don't know who it was that I was supposed to call. So I don't know. It's just that's what I hate when people call me and I'm at an intersection. I'm trying to cross an intersection and my phone rings. And it says Essential Clinic. It's like, God damn it, I can't talk to him right now. But the light had just turned red, so I took the phone off the front holster that I hold it on my front handlebars, and I answered it and said, I can't talk to you right now. I'm at the intersection of trying to get trying to cross an intersection. So she said, "Oh, sorry to bother you. I'll talk to you later." I said, oh, "By the way, who is the?" And that's as far as I got. She didn't tell me who she was, and I was gonna ask, and I said, "Oh, by the way, who is this?" But she hung up already, so I'm sure it's in their notes. I just gotta get them to go back to when she called me. And I said I got a call yesterday at about 10 something, but I was in the middle of crossing an intersection, so I couldn't continue the call, and she didn't tell me who she was. I'm just gonna ask him, do you have any idea who that might have been that called me? I said, well, let me check in the computer. She said, when do you think it was? Oh, 10 something, 10. I'm not sure. I think they'll find it. That's usually how they do because their phone calls are recorded. And I'll just give them the roundabout time that when that person called. And say, oh yeah, I was this person trying to call you for probably an appointment confirmation again. I think that's what it might have been, but I got one here in my clinic and then the one down in the cities, which I also have to do the e-check-in. Do any of you guys do e-check-ins for your clinics? That's usually what I do for my two. So if before I have an appointment, they do the e-check-in. I always do that. better than going in the clinic and then having to do all that e-check-in on that touch screen computer they've got in, and I can never do it. I don't like that computer at the clinic for the e-check-in or for check-in or registration or whatever. You got to do it for every appointment now. You can't just walk in and say you got an appointment at 2 o'clock and you go and sit down. You got to do all the computer work shit unless you do the e-check-in at home. Then you don't have to do the computer at the clinic. But the last time my mom and I were there, I don't know. I must have not. It didn't say I had an e-check-in, but we got to the clinic and the guy says, "Oh, you got the e-check-in to do." Like, what e-check-in? There's none. Okay, so I did the e-check-in. I thought I did it at home. I thought it took it, but it didn't. So I had to do it at the. I don't like those e-check-ins or the one at the clinic. It's a big, huge touch screen. They're kind of they're kind of iffy if they work all the time. Yeah, hire for remote work. I don't know. I know. I'll be probably doing some part-time hiring myself here pretty soon for either the bike courier service or I don't know. That might be two different people. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna try one. And I mean, those guys, they don't work for me. They just I kind of dispatch them to wherever I need the help because I'm running short of help. But I don't know. I might get someone part time or for like 2 or 3 hours a day every day, and just kind of have someone do some of the stuff that I can't get done. I don't know. That's another pain in the you know what I don't want to take on. So I don't know. Someone asked me, so why don't you just hire someone to do some of the other stuff you can't do? It's like, yeah, and I don't know if I want to do that. But at the position I'm at, it would probably be a good idea if I did. And get some of them doing some of the stuff down in other places that I can't get to at the moment. Then I can be here doing some of this stuff, and I have them out there. Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it. Might be one for a while, or might be two. I don't know. I don't know how I want to do that. Sounds like a headache I don't want to take on, but if I want to keep ahead of things, I might have to for a while. I'll try them just for temporary help. It's like for 2 or 3 weeks. I just need two people, one or two people, and just kind of clean up the mess I leave behind. That's kind of what I've been doing, just getting one thing done, but I end up leaving a mess behind. And then I end up leaving that and then going to the next place, but I need someone to stick behind the other place, kind of clean up the cardboard and the kind of mess that I leave behind so that I don't have to go back later and try to convince them to let me back in so I can clean up the mess, the plastic and the cardboard that's on the floor downstairs. I need to pick that up. It's like, why didn't you do that when you were here before? It's like, I didn't have time. I had to get that job done, drop what I was doing, run off to the other place and get them because they had called me already. It's like, I got to finish this up. Well, can you hurry up and kind of get here kind of soon or kind of, I say, all right, fine. So that's kind of what I need a second person for is kind of stay back and kind of finish up what I left behind so I can go on to the next place. But, uh, so that's kind of what I'm kind of got in the mind of doing. It's just the work that I don't want to do. I'll just have someone doing for me. Um, and it kind of depends on how this doctor. Well, the doctors are gonna talk to me. After I wake up from surgery, and then they're gonna sit down, and I think they're gonna kind of discuss that maybe I should just start kind of cutting back work a little bit because this hernia is just the second one I've had, and he's gonna He's already told me he's concerned about it because this is the second one I've had. And he said, I don't know, just kind of what he's gonna want me to describe my day to him. It's like, when I get up and get out of bed, have a quick breakfast, and usually by 7:30 or quarter to 8, usually on my bike going from one place to another. He said, you were doing that with your hernia? It's like, yeah, it's not bothering me too much. I mean, it does a little, so I think they're gonna have me. Probably they're gonna ask me to cut back and just find someone else to do the work that they don't want me to do. So I don't know. I got a bunch of thinking to do on that. See if I really want to fork out the money to hire someone, or how I'm going to do that, or what exactly my plans are on that. Um, for the most part, for about the next 5 weeks, yeah, it'd probably be better if someone else did what I'm doing for a while. Kind of let things heal up, because if I screw this one up, then 6 or 7 months later they find out they got to do it again. Like, so this time, the day I get home from the surgery, which will be the 21st, around probably 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm not gonna come home and go gun ho and going to clean the bedroom closet or this closet. I'm just gonna come home, go lay in bed, and stay there. Yeah, I just doctors told me this time. This time you're gonna go home. You're gonna do absolutely nothing. He looked at me and said, "Do you know what doing nothing means?" No, not really. I'm always up doing something. He said, "You can't do that this time. You're gonna have 2 weeks of doing absolutely nothing. Do you understand me?" He's like, "I hear you, but," and he said, "Rick, you're not gonna screw this one up. I'm not saying you screwed the first one up, but he said we're gonna do things differently this time." Not exactly something I want to do. I mean, the surgery, that's not what bothers me. It's the doing the 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks of doing nothing afterwards. When I'm used to being out on my bike and going up and down Washington Street 2 or 3 or 4 times a day, or working on computers, or doing something, or this laying around that he's going to want me to do for 2.5 weeks is going to be torture. But if I want this to heal the way it's supposed to, I might want to try to take his advice and just try to do nothing, but that won't be easy. Your keyboard has a mind of its own. What is it doing that you don't want it to do? I'm curious. How does your keyboard have a mind of its own? Hey, Chibi. Shabby. How do you say your name? Yeah, that's what the doctor told me, is that they didn't do the mesh the first time, and he said more than likely that's probably why it came back. And probably not getting enough rest the first time, which is why he's putting so much emphasis on me this time for 2 weeks, maybe a little longer than 14, than 2 weeks of doing absolutely nothing. And I told him, that's going to be torture for me, just laying around in bed staring at the ceiling for 2 weeks. And how do you expect me to do? Well, it's not just doing nothing if you want to go and sit at a chair or sit at your computer, but there's going to be no twisting. There's going to be no running. There's going to be no going up and down stairs. He said there's going to be doing nothing. You're going to be very light walking from your bedroom out to here and back into the bathroom and get something to eat. But he said that's all I want you doing for at least 2 weeks, maybe up to 16, 17 days. Then he's going to come back and re-x-ray this to see how it's doing in there. And then he's going to write down what he wants me to do for the next week after that. Whether I go back to trying to do light work or another 4 days of doing nothing. He's gonna make sure they do it right this time. And yeah, he's doing the mesh this time because he said that's probably why this probably came back. There's probably things we should have done the first time that we didn't. And he said, yeah, now thinking back, maybe we should have done the mesh the first time and you wouldn't be in this position. I don't know about that. I don't know. I do a lot of physical work, a lot of bending and twisting and, picking up from bending over position. He said, ouch. He said, that hurts just thinking that, yeah, that's kind of the things I do. And I know I shouldn't, but, you know, when you're there kind of in the middle of the action, you kind of do whatever's needed and not worrying about producing a hernia. I said, yeah, but you probably should from now on at your age. You really don't want to do this a third time. I said, no, you're right. I don't want to do this a second time. I said, well, that's why we're going to do things differently this time. So, that's the news on that, and that's all going to happen on the 20th. Getting knocked out again. He said for a very easy 20-minute surgery, he goes in there, drills in, grabs a hold of it, snatches it out, stitches me up, and does whatever. He said it's real easy, but if he comes in from the side and then goes all the way in, that's probably a half hour, 35 minutes. If he does it from coming in from my waist and then goes in that way, he's not sure which way he's going to do it, but he said being that the hernia is pretty much in the same spot, is your first one, he might go in right where they went in the first time, was kind of drill out my billet button and kind of just snatch it that way, and or the other way is going in through my waist and drilling all the way in and just kind of doing it that way. He's not decided yet. He'll just kind of make that snap decision when I get on the operating table and they have me knocked out cold. Like, eat me, money, mo, catch. Yeah, we're going in through the waist. He's not sure which way he wants to do it yet. He'll make up his mind when I get there. But he said either way is nothing to worry about. You're not going to die or anything. It's one of the easiest. Hernia surgeries are one of the easiest surgeries you can have. If there's nothing before or after they could see going wrong, like diabetic people. There's other people with thin blood and they got to be careful of. But he said with me, he said it's just easy. Go in and snatch, stitch you up. You should be done and out of there in half hour. He thinks so. I hope it goes that way. I don't like him hearing that when I wake up said, well, first this problem showed up, then that problem showed up, then we had to deal with this. Like, in other words, you had probably think, yeah, we had a few issues, but never. That's never been an issue. He never has issues with hernias. Maybe there's been a few with a little extra bleeding, but he keeps that under control. But as long as he knows your full history, like if you're diabetic or whatever, as long as he knows that, he said really there shouldn't be any problems. And he said with me, it should, like I said, go in there, grab it, snitch it, and stitch me up, and I'll be done. But there's a few other people he's had serious problems with because other problems arise. Their blood pressure rises or falls or something. But he said with me, it should be pretty generally basically easy. It's the same procedure he does to a normal person. He's going in there, snatch it, stitch me up, and done. So, shouldn't be too anything to worry about. But my dad is going to be up there. I'll probably see him the first thing I open my eyes and like, oh, Dad, what do you have? Oh, hi. I'll be too tired to talk to him, but he'll be there for the full day. And then, like I said, I think he plans on heading back home when I go home. I think he'll leave when I go home because the doctor said no traveling for at least the first week after that. What the hell are they doing out there? Me no traveling for the first week. So, yep, that's what mine is. The umbilical hernia. No, it's an easy surgery. It's nothing. I wasn't worried about it the first time, and they made me so relaxed this time, and they said it's just a piece of cake. With me, it's easy. He's had other people, like I've said, that he's had to think twice of his procedure, how I normally do it with me compared to somebody else, because he knows the problems he'll have. So, but in general, they're not all that bad. He usually doesn't have that many problems doing hernia surgeries, except he just has to change his routine depending if you're diabetic or whatever, or thin blood or whatever. He just has to do things, a few things differently. But in general, he said most of those are usually 20, between 25 minutes and 40 minutes. He says usually doesn't take that long. So I'm not that worried about it. I went through this before. It was real easy. Well, the only thing I might have problems with is the anesthetics and waking up from it. I mean, it's just trying to keep my head together after I wake up because I'm just so foggy. I think they'll just have me lay down and fall asleep, and I'll just sleep for 2 or 3 hours, and I'll wake up later. It's like, okay, I got my head back together. My mom and dad will be sitting there waiting for me to wake up. They won't be too far away from me, but it was made. It was made. The decision for my dad to come up was last night. He asked me. He said, "Well, do you want me to be up there doing your surgery? I mean, I can come up or before or after." And I said, "You can come up before if you want. I just need to be prepared for who's gonna be there when I wake up because I don't like surprises." They said, "No, it just be you. It just be me and your mom." Okay, that's fine. I don't care. But this kind of cuts his visit short because he was gonna be up here almost 2 days because he was gonna come up and he was gonna stay in the hotel, the Super 8. He gets up here like on a Thursday around hopefully around noon, 1 o'clock. Checks into his hotel. Then we go find something to do for a few hours. Then we go out to eat. Then we sit at the hotel till about, I don't know, 8:30, something like that. He drops me off here back at my apartment. He goes back to the hotel overnight. Then the next morning he comes picks me back up. Then we go to, I don't know, McDonald's or somewhere to eat real quick, or 371 diner or something. Um, and then we kind of make up our decision what we're going to do for the day. We usually go up north, or I think what we were going to do this time, except he's going to come see me in the hospital, is I think we're going to go down south, down to like St. Cloud, or do something for the day. And then we come back that evening, and then, so that's how we usually spend our time when he's up here. The next day after he gets here from the day before, the next day, then we usually go up north or we go down south. We went up north last time, but this time he's just gonna see me in the hospital for, it's just 4 hours the day of my surgery, and then probably an hour or two, maybe 3 hours before I get discharged the next day. So really, it's not gonna be all that bad. I'm not worried about it. It's not like open heart surgery like I had when I was 6.5 years old, or maybe 7. I think I was almost 7. This hernia surgery is like, bleh, I'm not worried. Nothing to worry about. But yeah, with that, guys, it's gonna be a 1:45 here in a couple of minutes, and this room is starting to heat up, and I need to get the air conditioner running. So, got about a minute left. So I think I'm gonna. Hey, Charlie, just caught you. All right, Charlie. Catch you later. Hope you have a good one. Yeah. So that's all my news that I know of what's going to be happening to me. Um, I think he might have left already, Kim. I don't know. I think he was just stopping in to say hello. I don't know. I hope he's still here. Right. Hey, Charlie. Um, yeah, the weather here is still smoky, so um, quite smoky off in the distance. So if anybody's wanting to make their vacation plans up to Minnesota, I'd put that on hold for a while because I don't think you want to breathe our smoke. It's not. It was unhealthy yesterday, and I think today it's at moderate. So I can see a little bit of haziness. It's better today, but then tomorrow it'll be back. But I think they're saying it's moderate today. So, but yeah, I've been telling most people that have been wanting to adventure to make their adventure north coming into Minnesota. I said, yeah, you might want to hold off for another year on that and let the smoke get out of the air first, because it's gone pretty much today. But I can guarantee you tomorrow it'll be back. I'll wake up and it'll be a nice thick haze all over the place, and I can't imagine that smoke's good for the trees. I can't imagine what it's doing for the plants and the wildlife and the trees being surrounded by smoke all the time. Can't imagine that being good, but it's what we've been living with this summer, last summer, the last 2 years. It's been smoky up here. Yeah, that's good. You glad you got it working, Jeff. It is a good thing. Yeah, I've shown a few people that putting in a video card really is not that dramatic, is what some people make it out to be. I mean, some people just come to pieces when it comes into putting a video card or putting in the CPU. They just completely fall apart when it comes to putting those things in. I said, just relax. It's not that hard. It's easy. Here, and I'll show you. And I pick up the CPU and it's like, clink, just like that, and it's done. It's like, how do you do that so easy? It's like, it's not that hard, buddy. You just pick it up, one edge, and then just drop the rest of it in. It's like, they didn't think they could do it. I said, oh my God, come on. It's not that hard. And then putting in video cards, and like, yeah, I have to admit myself, I had a little bit of difficulty for the first maybe two or three or four that I put in 20 years ago. I was a little bit shaky because I'd never done it before. It's like, oh, I'm gonna put this video card, and I'm sitting here shaking like a leaf, like not like this, and I'd have to put it down. Like, I don't think I could do this, and I just find, you know what? I just picked it up and I just put it in there and lined it up and just put it in the slot and just put it in there. It's like, once I got my mind over thinking I couldn't do it, that I could do it, I just picked it up and put it in there and slid it in place. Like, it's not really that hard. But yeah, I getting people over their phobia of putting things in like that, like the CPU. Some people just literally they just stop. Like, no, 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 you do it. Like, no, 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 you do it. Like, I can't. No, no. You're gonna finish this. I do get them to put it in, but why they are very unsure of themselves. And some people I've only gotten them to be able to do it once. They're just not. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure on that. If some of them switch over automatically or not. I think it's just whichever one you're using is the one that it goes on to the default. I think. Hello, ghetto. I'm not gonna be here for more than another minute here because I gotta get my air conditioner running. So you slid in at the last second there, Josh, because I'm about to shut it down here. It's 2:49 here. I gotta get the air conditioner back on because it's starting to get warm here. And then I think I'm gonna go get me some ice cream. I think that's what I'm gonna go do. Go get me some ice cream. Go get some ice cream and a couple other things, and then come back here and Should be cooled off by then. I think I'll leave for like 10, 15 minutes, let the air conditioner do a little bit of work, let it get it cooled off in here because it's getting up to, oh, I don't know. The thermometer says it's 84, and I think it's probably 78. I don't know, that thing's almost a few degrees off. So it's probably 79, 80 degrees. So, anyhow, I thank everybody for being here. It's been another fun live stream. Today is what, Thursday? Yeah, I will have another live stream tomorrow, Friday. Will not have one on Saturday, as most of you probably well know by now that I skip Saturdays, and then I'll have another one on Sunday. So until next time, guys, see you later. Bye for now.